and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Hey. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. Cry myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna die today. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Hey. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna die today. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful.
I don't have Italian skin.
Happy Thursday.
Pre-Friday.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you guys for joining us for TNT today. We got you a couple of decent topics. First one out of the gate is going to be Senate Bill 1588. We're going to finish the second half of that.
Yep.
and talk about resale certificates.
Yes. Good information to know.
Yes, and then we have Saudi Arabia has a super mega project, and we're going to discuss that one. It's one that is a little interesting from a real estate perspective. So we'll show the urban plan that they have going on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see that one, and possibly we'll get to the 50-year mortgage in the UK. Just depends on how long the first couple of topics
I
take.
keep thinking about the 50-year mortgage.
You do? Are you excited about it?
I don't know. No, I don't know how I feel about that.
Excited about the discussion of it?
It's interesting. I'd like to hear more.
You would? Well, there we go. We'll talk about it.
Let's go.
Senate Bill 1588. That's Shana Acquisto.
Say
I'm
that
Mike
again.
Acquisto. We're going to go ahead and discuss it. Well, I was looking at the screen, and all of a sudden, where'd the number go? How am I supposed to know what it is? So,
Just know this.
yeah, I don't
This
have
is
all
an
that.
HOA reform bill that passed last year, and what we need to know is how it affects homeowners, how the resale certificate change helps homeowners. So before, we weren't really sure what the resale certificate amount was going to be in a closing, but they've capped it at $375. I think most of the HOAs are $375, so that's not really, earth-shattering news. However, there is a deadline now. So an HOA now has 5 days, as of September 1st, they have 5 days to give us the resale certificate. Okay, if they do not provide that within 5 days, homeowners can file a judgment against the HOA for $5,000.
Okay.
That's crazy. So, I don't know.
Does it mean
I
you
think-
automatically get it, or what happens?
Well, you have to file it. They don't
right,
just
so you-
automatically do it.
All right, so you file it,
Yeah.
and then you get $5,000 if they don't perform?
I
Like
think
it's like they're automatically guilty.
I don't know. You can seek a judgment for it if they have not provided it. So even if they provide it, I think the way it reads is if they didn't do it, then boom.
So that's their penalty.
It's like a fine, yes.
Okay, but the
So-
person who receives the penalty money is actually the
homeowner.
The homeowner.
Yeah.
The new one or the existing one?
Whoever files the lien, so it'd be the current owner,
Okay.
right? That
Okay.
owned it at the time that they're the ones that ordered the resale certificate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do like that because we always have, these rush fees. And, if a title company sees that you have a quick turnaround on a closing, they typically will charge you a rush fee to get the resale certificates. So I like that. We should be able to avoid that with
Okay.
with this change.
Are there some more items within here that you'd like to talk about as well?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I think we've covered the important things. The bill does, we talked about fencing. The bill does, control who is on the board and the architectural committee and things like that. So, they're just cleaning it up a little bit and making it a little more fair, I guess.
I
if you
did
will.
see something within here that if we could bring up that the HOA must obtain bids before awarding any contracts more than $50,000.
More than 50,000, which in a community, they're typically more than 50,000.
Yeah. So
Right.
they have to receive bids. Probably better to have that than a no bid process.
So the other change is if you're late paying your HOA dues, the HOA can still file this against your credit. They can report it to a credit agency, but they can't charge you a fee to do that. So I think before there were a lot of fees like, hey, we had to file this or report it to the credit bureau, and that was just an additional fee on top of fees. So you now have 45 days instead of 30 to cure a delinquency, and HOA must now send homeowner requisite enforcement action notice prior to filing it or reporting it to the credit agency. So
Okay. Well, it is an item that is due and payable, and it is a debt. And if you're not paying it on time, I could understand.
well, yeah,
how it
but a
would get
lot of
reported to the
times,
credit.
we did have a situation with a client that he had no idea, and he never received his his statements. So there was a delinquency way early on, and he would pay, but that delinquency never got satisfied, and they just kept charging him, and they were charging him fees on top of it, and it was like thousands of dollars at the end of the day, and it was just ridiculous.
Maybe HOAs, their bad rap is warranted. You know, they seem to do things in a way that would be very upsetting.
You know what?
So.
I do believe in HOAs. I know a lot of people don't like to have people tell them what to do, but I do think it really controls and maintains the aesthetics of a neighborhood, which in turn can, protect your property values. They just need to clean up some of the things that have been a little shady.
I know you're one of those people that doesn't like to be told what to do.
I do not like to be told what to do.
It does not work out well if you tell her what to do. So, just a word of the wise.
That's it.
The Line, it's a brand new development in Saudi Arabia, and it's part of their urban development plan. And we're going to kind of discuss it because it's super interesting and a little bit unique. It is definitely a huge real estate development, and it's modernizing the way that they do things. And maybe this is the way of the future.
Okay.
I'm really impressed with some of the things that, come out of large, big projects, right? When you have a vision and they go ahead and start to execute on it.
Yeah.
Everything's not always perfect how it works out, but this one in particular is a really grand plan. So let's go ahead and share the screen and take a look. So this is The Line.
Okay.
It looks like it's a video game,
It does.
but this is actually real life. I don't know why
Is that girl flying in real life?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but this is what they're kind of looking for. I have a picture, if we scroll down, I think maybe just a little bit
Future
more.
of urban
right
living.
there. All right, so that's what they're looking at. Okay. So what this is a huge line that stretches across the country from one side to the other, trying to get rid of cars, so there's no cars inside, but it's a huge structure. And according to the information I have, it's taller than the Empire State Building.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. All self-contained, and it's a huge line. And it's like 100 and, let's get some stats on this one, how long it is. It's 170 kilometers long, so it's like 100 and some miles, or 105 miles long, and it goes all the way through the desert. Okay, and then inside, it has the same climate all the time.
Okay. It will only be 200 meters wide.
Yep. So it's narrow and long. It's all self-contained.
High-speed rail.
Yep. Oh, now you're getting interested.
Well, how do they have... I'm just curious about, I guess, their water and...
Yeah, no, you can go from one end to the other end, 20 minutes,
and-
so everything's all self-contained. You're within this ecosystem that is the same ideal climate year-round. So one of the problems they have there is it's very warm, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to have the ideal climate inside all the time. Yeah. Really crazy.
It is crazy. It doesn't seem real.
No, but it is. They're actually starting on it.
Okay.
Yep. And it just has all these things that they're trying to build in there. So it's a vision that's getting carried out by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And what they're trying to do is get this to be the new way it's done.
It's like wanting to live on Mars. It seems like it is like living on Mars. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just a different way of doing things, but they're trying to reinvent and have a huge urban plan.
Is this a plan or is this something they're like working on?
No, they're doing.
Okay.
And they do really ambitious plans.
That's...
Yeah, and they have a couple of other
What do they
ones
call
that we'll
them?
go over in the new.
Naomians?
We'll go over it in the near future, some of the other projects that they have going on. But they're large plans, and the idea is to change the carbon footprint, to make life a little bit better, to make properties more dense, but then to have more wide open spaces. So basically everyone lives in a high rise. Okay?
Yeah.
But then everybody walks, so there's no commuting. So you can get from one end to the other end in 20 minutes on a high-speed rail that goes the whole way. So it's like perfectly straight. Okay?
Okay.
And then imagine that it's only so wide. So people like live on the side. There's this middle where it is, but it's like a whole park through the whole thing.
That's cool.
And you live, work, shop, everything right inside.
Well, they've got to control population then, if it's like...
It's 100 miles long
Well, yeah.
and taller than the
Same
Empire
half.
State Building.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so it has nature in it. And it's just within this.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep. So it's designed to be this like utopia of what's going on. Now, some of the times that there's unintended consequences that backlash from stuff like this.
Yeah.
So they come up with it and they're like, well, it's going to be way better for the environment and we're not going to have this and we're not going to have this, but all of a sudden we're going to have this. I mean, look how interesting it is. It has, trees growing off the side and it's just developed in such a way, right? It's got all these different characteristics that you live, work, play, all these things in the same place. Yeah.
I don't know. Lots of questions.
Lots
Not
of questions.
Sure about it.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Well, we're reporting it. You're deciding.
Okay, cool.
There you go, Saudi Arabia.
You're welcome.
50-year mortgage. 50. 50-year mortgage considered in the UK. Shana, I've been a big proponent of finding a way to bring down the cost of home ownership, okay, and doing it in a logical way. This is one of the things that I talked about a long time ago as interest rates were going up and as home prices are going up. So what do you think the UK said?
No.
Well, it was proposed and then quickly they did say no. But they thought about it. Okay, so let's talk about why it would potentially be a thing.
Yeah, it's too long. But if you think about now, a 30-year mortgage, it used to be just unfathomable that you would pay off a 30-year mortgage ever, right? And now you're seeing people pay off their 30-year mortgages.
Well, that's just because we're old.
I don't know.
If you think about that.
don't know.
All right, so let's talk our way through it.
Okay.
The traditional 30-year mortgage has 360 equal payments that you pay off over time. Now, what is the average time that a person stays in their home right now?
I don't know. Well,
It's really short.
3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and then how often do they refinance it? Very often. So let's consider this. Imagine that if you have any homeowners that are going to be buying a brand new home.
Okay.
Or whatever their next home is.
Yeah.
And they buy it now through the next several years. What we expect is that interest rates are going to be higher than they normally would be.
Yeah.
And I would go ahead and say that they would be able to get a better mortgage rate in 2 to 3 years in the future from when they buy it. So what that means is you're going to be refinancing it. Okay? So they're going to refinance. They're like scheduling a refinance because at some point within the 30 years, and I would beg to differ, or I would say that if you buy it in the next couple of years, interest rates are on this trajectory going up, and then after they go up, they go down.
Right.
So then when they go down and interest rates are lower, people refinance. So right now it seems like anyone who's buying a house is scheduling a refinance of their home in a couple of years. So if you do that, why are you trying to accomplish to pay it off in 30 years? Because all you're doing is having an arbitrarily higher payment amount that you need to pay to the bank, right? So if it was a 50-year mortgage, it wouldn't substantially matter because what you do in the beginning is you pay pretty much all interest, right? So why not just lower the interest that you're paying to them because you say I'm going to pay it off in 50 years instead of 30 years, knowing that you're going to be refinancing it in 2 years?
I mean,
It just helps the consumer. It really
don't know.
does.
How does that help the lender?
How does it help the lender?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really concerned about helping the lender, but what it does is it allows more people to get approved to have a lower monthly payment and cost of home ownership on a monthly basis.
No, I understand
because you
how it helps that way,
you qualify people based on
Right.
right.
But then if you do say pay it off early, there's probably going to be
No.
prepayment penalties
No, there's nothing.
and-
There's nothing like that anymore. So I just think the 50-year mortgage helps bring down the monthly cost of it. And if you really look at it, homes aren't going anywhere, right? I don't know why here in the U.S. we try to pay it off so quickly.
Because people don't like to have debt.
Okay, but imagine.
I don't like to have debt.
Sure, I totally understand that, right? But a house is supposed to be here for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's the other thing. Is the quality of the homes such that, I don't know. That
Definitely.
in 50 years that your home is still...
Yeah, your home is an appreciating asset, meaning it goes up in value over time. So it's a good asset. There's no reason that we shouldn't lengthen the amount of time that you can finance it over. If you think about this one in general. You have a depreciating asset in a car. Okay? So a car is going to go down. What is the real useful life of a car? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how long do you have that car and you're like, yeah, this car is awesome?
6 months.
No, but I mean, like the real useful life of a car, if you start getting into a car that's older, you realize it, right? So nowadays, I think they have 7-year mortgage or 7-year financing on a car. Well, so think about that if you put it into perspective. If you take a car and what you view the useful life of a car to be.
But they're also more expensive, and homes are also more expensive. So
I understand, but if you just keep it in proportion.
Well, that keeps it in proportion with, I guess, having a longer mortgage.
I mean, think about just that analogy. A car and the useful life of a car. Most people would think 4 years, and the car is kind of like starting to have some stuff. You get to 5 years, 6 years, right? And the car's got some major stuff kind of going on with it. It's going to have high mileage in most cases. There's going to be a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you still haven't paid it off, right?
Yeah.
So that, to me, is problematic. And how the useful life and then the length of the loan term. Then you look this other way, and all of a sudden you have a home. And you have a useful life of it. After 30 years, a home's not like
so it'd be interesting
unusable.
To do like the stats of a 30,
it's going
like
up in
from
value.
today, a 30-year or 20-year, and kind of what the differences would be and how it, how it changes the qualifying.
Maybe we'll look at some different numbers, but I think it makes the person's life quite a bit better, especially if they don't have a true desire to be paying it off.
Yeah.
Because they know that interest rates are going down, and then you're going to refinance it. So I think the 50-year mortgage is a real thing, and I think people should be able to do it if they put 20% down. Then it makes it safe.
Well,
so let's go ahead and take a look at.
Doesn't solve the affordability problem because I don't think a lot of people have 20% to put down. That's kind of the issue.
So I did ask for it. We did hope that it could happen, and they kind of said no. So this is an article and the direct link to it, and they took a look at it.
But that's in the UK.
Correct. Yep. They said no in the UK. They said that it is going to raise the cost of homes over time. So I agree that would really happen. Oh, half-baked idea. I think they might need to reconsider that comment there. Anyways.
I don't know. I see it, but then I don't know enough to really understand how it would affect what's the long-term disadvantage. Like, what are the...
ramifications?
Yeah.
All right. Well...
What do y'all think?
Thank you. That's a wrap. Sorry for holding you guys over a couple of minutes.
Yep.
But really, the 50-year note, why'd they end up at 30? Why not 29? Why not 32?
Well, they have a 15.
And why not 50, for that matter?
Okay. Well...
You can still pay it off in 30 if you want. You can pay it off in 2 years if you want. Yeah. It's just how much you want to obligate yourself to pay off each month.
Oh. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Different perspectives. So anyway, it's pre-Friday. Be productive, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Did you get those? 1, 2, 3. Did you get that? Okay, good. The line. The line. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, and we covered the 50-year mortgage. We covered 3 things.
50.
Is that the right way? Okay. I didn't know if it was backwards. Microphone.
Woo! It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up! Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this